time he likes for us to chill in the room and oh my god! Oh my god! Oh my god!
Hey guys, we've got a big update here. The whole shipment reward system has finally been data mined. Special thanks to Ziggity and his team for this one. So shout out to them. And no, it's not just about sending in random food supplies with thaumaturgic dust. There's more to it. In all my runs, I can confirm this is exactly what I have been witnessing over the past few days as well. For those of you guys who are spamming out random resources to fill up the risk bar, you've been doing it wrong the whole time. Also, increasing the shipment risk will not increase the chance for boss spawns. Another important piece of information is that when your shipment arrives, do not use a low-level character to collect the rewards. The item level of your rewards depends on your character level. Black flags or Calgurian ports basically reward you with runes, whereas the green flags or the Karui ports offer tattoos. The more you send, the more runes or tattoos you get. But it's not as plain and simple as that. The runes are extremely worth farming, and I have a feeling that some of the runes may go core like some of the tattoos. This is a very powerful benchcraft system now, so don't miss this league mechanic. Ziggity's team have compiled a sheet listing all the rewards you get from the ports. The mined resources are basically items and the food is always currency. Even if you send an entire shipment of food for currency, you could get a unique belt such as a mage blood like this guy. This is basically a unique item reward for completing a port fulfillment. This is how the ports give their thanks to you, exactly like in Anno 1404. If you lose your shipment, you could have potentially lost that mage blood too. So this is all the more reason not to beef up the risk meter in your last shipments. If you send too much of resources to a port, the risk bar will fill up and you won't get any excessive loot, as this thing is capped based on the port level. So watch out for the favored resources. You can send whatever you want, but in order to upgrade the ports, you have to fulfill their desired resources. Each time you complete a fulfillment from the port, you get to send more quantity of resources, which straight up means more loot. This is basically how the shipment system progresses. Now, strangely enough, somebody ran an entire set of shipments focusing on just one port. Then later he for a change tried Ribbonfell, and soon after the fulfillment was completed, that port jumped up to the tier of Nakanu which he was dedicated to. It's like the entire archipelago is either connected or it's straight up a bug. This could also mean that there is some kind of a global scaling for each of your progression. In every quota section, you get to see a percentage value in green. This is the most important part, and it's your reward multiplier. The more the multiplier, the better is the quality of the loot that you get. So a high base value of shipment scales more multiplicatively with this percentage value. And once you complete the quota, it will disappear. The multipliers are only for the resources that are in demand at each port. This is exactly like the mapping system. You can't just throw all the scarabs with my exact atlas tree and then blame me for not getting the exact same loot. You have to scale the base value by rolling the monster pack size with high tier maps. This is how it works here as well. After all, this is PoE. When it comes to the mined resources, don't trade the ores, it's the bars that sell. And the more, the better. A good way to measure your final loot is through the trade value. This is where it can get quite confusing, because sometimes a certain combination of resources can significantly increase the trade value. You can test roll the scales up to see what is the best combination. But this can be quite time consuming to figure out for each and every shipment that you send. A guy from Ziggity's team did manage to compile a set of values based on testing. Thaumaturgic dust, just as I predicted, is quite useful to scale the multiplier values as well. This is just pure testing from several players including Reddit. A small amount of dust does seem to have a role in multiplying the loot, but with massive diminishing returns. Now, it's important to note that if you throw a mix of several resources in a shipment, even though the fulfillment is just about wheat, you could multiply the loot from all the items with a bit of some thaumaturgic dust. But the base value in quantity of those resources are anyway low, which means it's less multiplicative and a waste of spending. So it's better to just focus on the fulfillment ones. Another important aspect of scaling your loot is to upgrade your port to its higher level. Not only do you get more speed and crew members for shipment processing, you also get a multiplier to scale the value of your shipments. which is straight up more capacity to send resources. Plus, you get a total of 3 ships to deal with. If you are struggling with gold, you could bulk farm synthesis maps which can earn on an average of 15,000 gold per run, and it takes less than 3 minutes. During GGG's discussion with Zigiri, they did mention that it was a bad idea to send like 600 alterations as reward for a shipment. So they implemented the quality upgrade feature to roll a couple of them to Chaos. That is a quality roll-up system similar to what we had during the Kalandra League's Chaos to Divine conversion, which scaled with rarity back then. Here, this is how the loot conversion takes place when you start doing some high-scale quantity of resource trading. And even for non-currency items, the more you send, the better will be the rolls on the items that you get. Now, looking at the spreadsheet of the rewards, which was data mined, you might ask why not just dedicate to one port and farm something like Scarabs or Catalyst to begin with. And by the way, some of the runes are pretty expensive as well to focus more on Kalgorian ports. There are so many answers to this. One such reason is the fact, as I mentioned, concerning your reward scaling. If you send resources that fulfill the quota of a specific port, you get back tons of rewards which are multiplicative in trade value. The multipliers are only for the resources that are in demand at each port. If you keep sending unsolicited resources like say Verisium to one port over and over in hopes of farming fragments, what you get back will be very low value items. So you'll have to send in shipments based on what you have and what they want most of the time. Secondly, in terms of the distance, the ports that are far away will have much bigger cargo hold on them. This is exactly like the market trade cards in Age of Empires 2. It's more time consuming, but you get to exchange much higher values with distance in a multiplicative rewarding system. Overall, this part of the league mechanic is just perfectly designed and well balanced. If you send items beyond the capacity of the port level as I mentioned before, you will notice high risk warnings. It's nothing to panic. This will get better as you progress through their supply demands. Just like in maps, the more riskier, the more gambling it gets. If you want a consistent loot, don't just hit the red bar. Another thing you could do to prevent the red warnings is just hire more crew members. It is designed in a practical sense after all, and the higher the level of the crew members, the better experience they are in handling the job. But of course, none of this will have any impact of the outcomes of losing them or getting commandeered by pirates, as that is pure RNG. And you don't have to hire more crew members at low tier fulfillments. They just burn up the gold, you know. You don't need a team of 4 unless you're doing some serious high value shipments. This is a fantastic PoE league for me as a huge fan of Anno 1404, and I can't wait for more updates. See you soon again, Exiles.